some of the airlines are pretty good at trying to have at least a heater on there to keep you a little bit warm. So.
And it's about 18 here, and you said it was about -8 there. Is that right?
So yeah, something like that. It was,
Yeah.
And where it's tundra in Chivak, so no trees, just like little hills and mountains, and so when it blows, it blows. And in front of our house, teacher housing, it's like 8 steps to get up to our house, and the snowbank will be before the end of the winter season. The snowbank will be higher than the house. We'll have to climb up over the snowbank and then go down into the house.
So have you seen polar bears out where you are?
We don't have polar bears. Sometimes they see brown bears around there once in a while, not very often. Moose are not as close as what they used to be. So they say. I've only been there for 2 years. Not very. You don't see a whole lot of wildlife.
Muskox?
They're around someplace, but not. I haven't seen any. They're not real close to the village.
I see.
Fox, a lot of birds.
So what is? You've told us one of the worst things that happened to you while you were there. What's one of the best things that's happened to you while you were there? One of your best experiences of being there in the bush.
Oh man.
Northern Lights?
Yeah, I saw them up in Nuik. I saw the Northern Lights. In Koyukuk, where the Yukon-Koyukuk River meet, right out of Galena. We lived there 1 year. Beautiful, the trees and mountains. Nuiqsut was tundra. Chivak's tundra, so that you're in between there. The hills, the mountains, the trees, the evergreens, chopping down our own Christmas tree. That was probably really a good experience. Wood burning stoves. I love the smell. Of course, in tundra we don't have wood, so we don't have wood burning stoves. But that year in Koyukuk, the whole family would go out and chop wood and lay wood up together and start the fire in the morning, just like good old times. And that was a small community, really nice. And the school, the washateria, and our house was the only ones that had running water, flushing toilets. So it was kind of a rough area. People were nice though, and it was a good experience. Beautiful country, a lot of animals, moose walking right through the schoolyard, and a bear right outside the village there. And, well, that was really nice. The people were really good at sharing the food, and oh man, I never liked salmon before that year, so I had some. That was a good year, and a really nice Catholic church there, and are real involved in that community. It was a nice one.
So, do they believe in a lot of legends where you live? Do they still have a lot of traditions and legends?
They do, and they do their. I can't think of the word right now. Yuak. I'm not saying it right. The dancing with the feathers. The girls have the fans and the boys have the feathers. And the dances represent the animals, and it tells a story. Sometimes I have to ask what's going on, but that's very very interesting. John Pinkaik is one of the big cultural gurus of the area, and he does a lot of information. And they do the mask carvings like they used to, and the making of the dolls, and they'll tell the stories of they're not called shaman. They're little people. I don't know I can't pronounce what they call them. That if you're out late at night, they can come and get you. And so yeah, they do have some of these stories, and sometimes it's like you want to say, do not believe that's, there's no way, But then, there's a lot of things that I believe, like we haven't seen God, but so if that's what they believe in, and so it's like, okay, well, I'll take your story, I'll listen to your story, and it's hard for me to internalize it and accept, but they do. There's things like that they do.
Do they still treat women traditionally there, or has that changed a little bit?
In Chupik, I think it's the only thing about Chupik that I noticed about the women is that I was asking a gentleman from there about his family, his brothers and sisters, and he said, "Oh, Oh, I got, oh, there's only 2 in our family, me and so and so and so. And I went, oh, well, really? I thought Lillian was your sister. And oh, well, yeah, she is too. But when they talk about their family, they usually just talk with the males. They don't always, and that's the only one experience that I've had about that. But it was like in 3 different conversations that he only talked about the males. But that's the only. Other than that, I don't see them treated any differently.
So do you see problems in the bush with some of the teenage kids like they do in some of the other bush villages where they have suicide problems and depression, and do you see a little bit of that?
Well, every place has their problems. I mean, Lower 48, South Dakota, they all have their problem. Every place has their problems. Suicide in this village, we've had a few, and it seems to be at that. They've graduated from high school, but they're not the parents that have the jobs. There are not very many jobs, so they're not the people with the jobs, but they're just this in-between group that there's nothing for them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Their parents are the ones, they still have the jobs. They have to wait till one of their parents retire or something to get a job. They've graduated from high school. There's nothing for them to do.
And they have no money to go outside or anything
They
to get a job.
they don't they don't want to go to college. They don't want to. It's hard to leave the village. Since, some of them the families are very tight, so they don't want to leave. So the ones that I have seen, it's been that age group. It's not like when my mom took her in South Dakota, and they were talking about one school there that they 3 or 4 high school students just committed suicide. So it's not our high school kids. It's that in between age that they don't have much to do there.
So tell us about the darkness and the light there, and how it affects you.
I don't notice the difference.
Really?
I go to school in the morning. It's dark. I teach all day. Sure, we got the sunlight coming in our windows. It doesn't bother me. And I work so late at night, it's always dark before I go home. So it doesn't really bother me. And the first year, we were here, we came in, and then all of a sudden the darkness came, and we went out at Christmas to South Dakota and had light. And then when we came back at the end of Christmas vacation, that was hard. That was, bothered me then. But other than that.
Now, when you were on the North Slope, it was even more dramatic.
Yes,
wasn't
it was.
How was
Yeah,
that?
it very, very little daylight.
Yeah.
So.
But in the summer, it was like always.
And then when the sun is shining, the kids don't stop. They're all going all night long. So. It fuels the kids, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, all the energy.
Yes. No.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you doing this for me.
No problem.
Okay.
It's a great place. I mean, I would never go back to Lower 48 to go teach or anything like that. I really like it here. I may not stay in Chivak. I may move to another village. I'll find some place that's just right, but I don't want to leave Alaska.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.